Hey guys, I'm back with another book talk. Good lord, I have done a bunch of these lately. And that book is going to be Entwined by Heather Dixon. This book is actually the Book Explorer's book for the month of March that we are reading. Alright, so for those of you who do not know anything about this book, like I did when I first was told, hey, we're reading this, so go buy it. This book is a retelling of the 12 Dancing Princesses story, fairy tale. I don't know. I have never personally been told the 12 Dancing Princesses story, so, I mean, I've roughly heard it, like, mentioned and, like, referenced in certain things, but, like, I still don't know it. Like, I've never heard the story, so I don't know what it's about. So, I was still kind of completely lost with this story, because I've never heard of that before. This follows 12 sisters who just happen to be princesses, and their mother dies, and they are sent into mourning for a year. So they cannot dance, their curtains for the castle have to be closed, they're not allowed outside, they have to stay inside, they can't be seen in public unless it's for royal business, and yada yada yada. Well, they find this secret passage within the castle that contains a mystical, like, dancing ball area, and it just takes off from there, and it's, like, amazing. Like, this is so good. It blew my expectations for this book. I freaking love the story. Like, first, let's just start by, like, looking at this cover. How gorgeous is this cover? I flipping love this cover, and I love that, like, the silver details and everything, and it's so pretty. And I cannot tell you the last time I read, like, a princess type story, or, like, a story that, like, had a princess in it. Yeah, it hadn't been since, like, last year. So this was a very interesting read, and I really loved it. And I don't know if it's maybe just me, but I am definitely a big fan of stories set in centuries farther back, where there really was still monarchy, and the monarchy really did actually rule the land, and it's not just used as, like, picture press like it is now. I really enjoy reading those stories. I'm just, like, a history buff, so I love those kind of, like, books. And it was really interesting to see, because when you think royalty, you think, you know, they're rich, they have everything they can think of. That is not the case in this story. And in fact, the royal family is quite poor, and they only are able to have nice things like throw balls and, like, feasts and things if Parliament allows the sum of money for the royal family to spend. So they are struggling to pay for certain things, and they have to make do with what they have. So it's not exactly, oh, hey, that's the king, and she's a princess, therefore she's probably the richest girl in the land. No, it doesn't work out that way, which was really interesting, and I liked that show on it, so that, like, it's not all rainbows and puppies being royalty. I absolutely loved this world. I don't know why. I love that there's still, like, the little hints of magic. Like, it wasn't a complete fantasy to where, like, everything was fantasyly elemented. It was just, like, there were little pockets of magic around, like the tea set. I freaking love that tea set. Too bad Clover, like, smashed it to pieces. The tea set and the clock and all these other things, they were just so unique to the world, and I just loved that it was, like, magic wasn't for everyone. Like, yes, you could learn magic, but it wasn't necessarily like, oh, you know, everybody uses magic. It's just, like, I don't know why, I just really love the world, and I love the characters. I loved how they used, like, random words as, like, replacement words in this story for, like, their slang. Like, I just thought it was so funny, and I really enjoyed reading it, and it was just great. And I love the characters. I give props to Heather for how she wrote this. There are 12 sisters. There are all 12 sort of the main character, even though it mainly follows the oldest sister. The other 11 are always with Azalea at all times, so you still get to see, like, their personalities and who they are and all that stuff. And I give her props for being able to make each princess their own person. They had their own personalities, their own characters, their own unique little tics and tricks about them, and I just give her props for that, because I think it would be so hard. Like, she made sure that all of the 12 girls got their own little spotlight, that you got to see a little bit into them, and I really give her props for that, for not, like, repeating kind of like, oh, you know, well, they have this trait too, or they have this trait too. Like, they all were, like, their own person, and I, like, just really love that. And my two favorite would have to be Azalea and Bramble. And Azalea, of course, is the oldest sister of the 12, and she's the next ruling queen when her father steps down. And the entire story follows her mainly and how she's dealing with everything. And I just loved her. Like, she was so strong-willed. I just loved her, and the way she watched out for all of her 11 younger sisters and how she took care of them, and how even towards the end, even towards the middle of the book, she was starting to warm up to her dad, who she had never really had a close relationship with since he was always locked up in the library doing his royal business paperwork, and it was always their mother taking care of them. Like, she even warmed up to him, and I loved how at the end of the book they all started calling him Papa again. Like, that was heartwarming. I was like, yes, oh my gosh. And Bramble was probably definitely one of my favorites too, because she had such a smart mouth on her. That girl did not know when to shut up and not to talk. She cracked me up the entire story. I loved her. And her and Lord Teddy, I knew automatically that they were going to end up together. Like, it was just inevitable. But they are so cute. And the fact that he is like this hyperactive puppy dog, and she is like, I really don't know how to explain. Like, she was like brooding girls that is like annoyed with everybody. The fact that they two ended up together cracked me up because they're like complete opposites. But I guess, you know, they say opposites attract, but Bramble was definitely one of my favorites. Oh my gosh. And Lord Bradford, he was quite dreamy. Let's just put that out there. He was very dreamy, and him and Azalea make the cutest couple ever. Like, they are definitely now a new OTP. Like, I think they are the cutest thing in the world, and every scene that they were in is like some of my favorite scenes. And like, they didn't know what to be talking, they just had to be in the same room, and I'd get so excited. I'd be like, talk, like, just tell him that you like him and that like he likes you, and like, she knew he liked her. But I don't understand why it took her so long to finally come out and tell him that she wasn't Bramble, that she was Azalea. And yeah, I freaking love the two of them, and the ending to this story made me so happy, and that they finally are getting together, because I was waiting, and after the huge battle in the castle and nothing happened. Their last chapter, they were all sitting at the breakfast table and they were talking, and the younger girls were asking Clover and Bramble what it was like to kiss, and they were arguing about what it did feel like, and then they asked Azalea, and she just got mad and she stormed off, and it said that she hadn't heard from him in weeks, and it made my heart break. I was like, no, they need to be together now, they need to be getting married. Like, this is how this is supposed to work. Then at the very end, he proposes to her, even though she was supposed to propose to him. But, you know, that's not romantic. I agree with her. That is not romantic. I mean, I guess it depends on your own person, but for me, I would want my gentleman to propose to me. I don't care if I outrank him. I would want him to propose to me. It's more romantic that way. But they were so cute, and I loved him, and they were just so adorable. They just like make my heart so happy. They're definitely an OTP. I love them. One of the things I really loved about this story too is that it has such lovely writing. Like, I don't even know how to explain the writing in the story. Like, I just personally love Heather Dixon's writing style, and I think it is so beautiful and so lovely, and like, it just like kept me coming back for more, besides just that I love the characters and the world and like the whole story and plot. Like, I kept coming back because the writing was so beautiful too. Like, it made even the absolutely horrible events that happen in this book like beautiful to read. Like, she just has like a knack for storytelling and writing. Like, she is amazing. Like, I loved it. I loved all the characters, even though the characters you're supposed to hate, I still loved him. But I was like, oh my god, like, I absolutely love this book, and I'm so glad we picked this up and read this month, because otherwise I probably would have never read this book, and I absolutely love it. And I wish this was like a series or something. Like, this was only one book, and I felt like I read an entire series. Like, it was so beautiful, and like, I've never read a standalone fantasy type-esque novel like this one is, and it just makes me sad that it's over. Like, I'm not ready for it to be over. Like, where's the rest of this? Like, I need more. Even though like all the stuff happened, like, I need more. Like, I want more of this. I want to hear more about the sisters. I want to see Azalea and Lord Bradford's wedding. I want to see Clover and Farweller get married. I want to see Bramble and Lord Teddy get married. Like, I want to see all of this. Like, I want to see what happens. Like, I wish there was more. Like, I absolutely love this book, and it's definitely a favorite too, and the cover is gorgeous, and it's just like an all-around perfect book. Like, I love this. Like, I'm still shocked that it's over. I want more. There has to be more. Alright, well, that is it for this a book talk. I really did enjoy this book. I definitely gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. It is something else. I loved it. Heather Dixon just recently released another story of hers, so that makes now that she only has 2 books out, and I'm definitely thinking about going to pick it up because I love her writing style, and it was just gorgeous. Yeah, so if you read this, please let me know in the comments your thoughts and opinions about it, and we can talk about certain things and fangirl together in the comment section. Yeah, I will also link the Book Explorers Goodreads group in my pants, and you can go join if you want to. Please join us. We have lovely discussions over on the discussion boards for our books. And yeah, so I will see you guys next time with a book talk, top 5 Wednesday, or tag video. Until then, I'm Chrissy. Goodbye.